should I call you barrister? I'd prefer to call you. Let me just call you Olumide. Now, all of you listen to Olumide every Saturday. Olumide Omosebi. Listen to him every Saturday. And last Saturday, I stumbled on the discussion that he had, and I asked him a question concerning the difference between divorce and separation. I'm one of those who believe that if something is not working, just leave it. If you patch it up to a point, leave it. But in doing so, I believe that it is very, very important that you know the implications of every step that you take. Every step that you take before you run into a problem. Okay? So, Olumide is here. Olumide morning. By the way, Olumide is a lawyer, but is a strong anti-domestic violence advocate, of which I'm also one, but he has gone a step further. He has an NGO called Gnosis. Is that what it's called?
Gnosis.
Gnosis. What is the G there now?
Yeah, the G is silent.
If it's silent, why put it?
It's not me, it's Latin.
Oh God. But I did. Everybody at home, let me be very honest with you. I did Latin in school, MBHS in those days. I did Latin from 1 to, I think, from 2 or so. We had one teacher called Papa Okon. Papa Okon, both of us will get 0. Even Shesonku, your Papa, Philip, your Papa, he too, none of us will get. So when Papa Okon puts the 0, I just didn't like Latin at all. When he puts the 0, in case you want to go and put like 40 behind it or in front of it or so, Papa Okon will draw the ears and the nose of the 0. By the way, today is the birthday of a very good person that I came across in my business life somewhere along the line. We are not close. I don't know his house. He doesn't know mine. In fact, I had to ask David Harper for his phone number, but it's somebody that a lot of people in my generation, in business world, respect. His name is Akin Okpeodu, and he's 70 today. I've been trying him on the phone all morning. I can't get him, but I want to use this opportunity to wish Akin Okpeodu a happy birthday. Yeah, happy birthday. Next week is that of my classmate Bola Oyeyinka. He will also be. All of them are coming 70, but it's not yet time for me yet. I still have 1 or 2 more years to get to that point. But Agbashoro, even this morning, getting up, she was even asking me that, are you okay? When he was asking me this morning, he said, you guys are okay. All right. So let's get down to the business, Olumide. Let's assume that the marriage has gone sour. Sour depends on the individual. But let's assume that you've gotten to the point of no return. How do you advise? You separate by doing what? Do you pack out, or do you insist that the man packs out, or what? Let's start from there.
Okay, thank you, first of all, Uncle Jimmy, for calling me. It's an honor to be on your program. Straight to the matter then. When a marriage has broken down, legally they call it irretrievably. It has broken down irretrievably. That is, nothing can be done again, either on grounds of abuse or violence, or they are just no longer compatible. The first step is separation.
Okay.
Separation is when you cease from cohabiting. You can't be separated from somebody that you live in the same house with. By the time both of you are living in the same house, it is assumed that you are still intimate.
Yes.
So you can't say you are separated and living in the same room. You can't say you are separated, you are still living in the same house. You have to leave the house.
Can I ask a dumb question? What if in the house you're living in separate rooms? You have cases like that for years. They don't even talk to each other. Everybody, in fact, one goes out to the backyard, the other one comes into the front of the house.
Yes.
That is not separation.
It is not separation, because if you come to a courtroom, I can say, oh, well, we were still intimate yesterday. There is no way for you to prove that, because we still live in, in the court, you hear people say all kinds of things, lies, truth. So when you are in the same house, you jeopardize your case, because the other party might just want to punish you and say, weren't we intimate yesterday? entering in my room yesterday because. But when you live separately, there is no way that can come in.
Okay, the question that I asked on Saturday that led to this is, do you have to document your separation so that again in court it doesn't become an argument? Where, for example, if you want to do the 3-year thingy that doesn't need just 3-year separation, she might say no, it will not be. So, do you have to document to prove that you are separated?
There are two kinds of. There are to me or for me. The law says there's something we call judicial separation. That is where you get a lawyer who petitions the court, informing them of your decision, the reasons for your decisions for separation. Then there's the actual, especially when you are in danger. Maybe the person is a violent person. You know, there are times, there was a time we had to take someone from Lagos and go and hide her in Abeokuta. About a month and a half ago, a gentleman, murdered his wife by setting her ablaze. She had moved out. He went to look for where she was, and as a Muslim, while she knelt down and was praying, he poured kerosene and set her ablaze right there, because he had been saying that you cannot, it is death that would do us. All those threats.
Yes.
For the safety of the person, you go to a place for your security. In that place, I always tell them that you make a detailed text message informing the family that for so and so reason. Now that serves as an actual notice because of your safety. Then there's the judicial separation, which you get a lawyer to also inform the court and of your reasons for leaving, and then the court grants you leave. You can also do this while being absent. Your lawyer can do all that for you. You don't have to come. So those are the two kinds of
okay, do you advise that because people fail to do this, you want to rent a house, you want to buy land, you want to buy a house, and you think you can go through it yourself, you don't go get a lawyer. Would you advise, especially for those who are married under the Marriage Act, in the registry and so on and so forth, would you advise that they first have a discussion with the lawyer before they take that initial step
to buy a property?
No. I just said that people. I was talking about people to hire to get services of a lawyer. We're talking of separation. That is it advisable that you talk to your lawyer first before you set out
Yes, there are bodies, there are professional bodies, like you have the Domestic and Sexual Violence Agency in Alausa, you have the Ministry of Justice, you have the Office of the Public Defender, you have Women Affairs, you have professionals there that would advise you so you don't do anything wrong, and it is free, like my organization. There was a time a lady was leaving, I said, do a video as you are leaving. You understand? Because we know somebody will come and say, well, you took this, they had 10 million naira in the room, they can't, lots of, then if the person is violent, people often come out from a violent marriage or relationship with no proof. The court will not, you can't just come and talk. You have to at least, either someone was there or a picture, or so you need these kinds of advices. When you are bruised, better take a picture.
I'd always said that it's important that you think things through. Either if you leave or if the guy has left, or the other way around. I've always placed a premium on that. So you advise that you talk to your lawyer, you talk to a professional.
I think you should talk to a professional, because lots of lawyers, there's this religious thing in Nigeria, cultural thing in Nigeria that, people would still tell you, just go back to this, just go back to that. And Uncle Jimmy, between January and March this year, we had buried 64 women lost to domestic violence and abuse.
No. Where?
In Nigeria.
In Nigeria or in Lagos?
Here.
64 women.
64 women.
Oh my.
For us in Achi was 65. You understand?
Wow.
And I was one of the lawyers in that matter. The issue where you need to go for professional help, where people are not tainted by culture, custom, or religion that would be telling you, just pray, just
persevere,
just pray. Let me share a short story. 4 years ago with you, a lady came to my office. She tall and fair, and dark glasses on. So so as we were talking, I wasn't comfortable with the dark glasses inside the office. So, I had to say, Madam, do you mind taking off your glasses? We're talking, and and she was a bit reluctant, but when she took it off, her eyes were, were bloodshot. Her eyes. And it was as if the focus of everything was those eyes. Because, if you're punching somebody, at least you see bruises on the side, but it was just the eyes. And I looked, I said, one was already bloodshot. I said, what happened? He said, this is part of what I'm coming. And, I told her, I said, Madam, you have to leave. She eventually, now showed me other things. For a fair-skinned person, you see it's very obvious. I said, no, you have to leave, or else you would. And she agreed. I even helped her set a time, a place where the man would have gone to work, and then you would. So 2 days to the agreed date, I was a bit apprehensive. Day before then, on the actual date, no call from her yet. I was like, what is going on? Then in the evening, I now called her, Madam. I said, sorry that I wanted to inform you. You see, I went and I met this man of God. He said that we would do a 2-week fast. No salt, no oil, no, there's this special white fast or something that there's no oil, no pepper, that he would do it for 2 weeks, and the man would change. I said, what? He said that I shouldn't worry, that he's a really strong man. I said, no problem. I was so upset, I just couldn't talk. They said 2 weeks. 2 weeks is 7 + 7, 14 days.
Yes.
On the 8th day, the man flared up and started. She ran to the balcony and closed the sliding glass. The man broke through the window of the balcony and pushed her from a 4-story building. She landed on the fence, breaking her spine.
Wow!
And she did not die, though. She just could not move her hands, her legs, her neck. The only thing she could move was her neck. You understand? And she couldn't even control. She was on a wheelchair. The man ran. Now he's abroad and posted, he's married. The lady, after about 6 to 7 months, we couldn't hear from her anymore, because who would be she just ended. She was paralyzed totally. She couldn't even control her bowels. So when the mother I said, you need to go and look for the pastor that told her that you don't come to me. I gave you the advice, but you were going spiritual on a normal matter. It is the character of it. It's not a marital problem. It is a person's character problem. So when you go and meet these people that use religion, that use culture, in our culture, in our lineage, nobody has left, but have anybody in your lineage married this kind of person? That you now put someone in bondage to an abuser, or, it's just... So when you're going for advice, it's not just any lawyer. Go for professionals.
Yeah, you have that. You do even have judges who have been tossed around because they try to be more pastors and whatever, preachers and dispensation of justice according to the laws. But I think there is enough. We need to thank Lagos State government so much for what they have done. I would never tire of saying that. Vadeniji and her people, and it dates back. These are some of the achievements, for example, that people need to highlight that happened under Tinubu, because he was the one who set up that with the Chibajo, set it up back then. But that don't let me delve into politics. But we need to thank him for that. So I ask my people, take advantage of these things that are there. Only God knows how many lives, but this figure you gave me is frightening with all these things. Yes.
May 2019.
Yes.
To August 2021.
Yes.
The Domestic and Sexual Violence Agency recorded 10,007 cases of domestic violence and abuse. and we have 365 days. So if you divide 10,007 by 365, you would have up to 27. So the moment, as we are talking now,
one's probably going on.
One has already happened before the close of this.
And you know that in the area of percentages, those reported are probably a quarter of what really happened.
In fact, those reported don't even measure up to the actual. You know how many unreported cases there are?
Mm-hmm.
How many unreported? When you see Alimosho local government, Ajegunle, they have the highest rates of spousal killings, spousal abuse.
Wow.
Yes. That place is go to any hospital there, any day of the week. Just go to any hospital in that place and tell me they won't wheel out a corpse of someone whose wife or husband
is either remotely or directly responsible.
But you know, we just need to sensitize. Was last year a man beating the wife. The wife will run. People would say go back. So the day it was even in the afternoon. Everybody in the compound had seen this woman naked because of the aggression of the man would strip her naked. So the woman ran, and the man couldn't catch up. So he looked around. What could he throw? He saw a cutlass, and he threw. The cutlass went straight into the lady's leg and stayed there. It was in her leg. She made 4 or 5 paces, but she fell to the ground, and in broad daylight. We took the case, we went to the hospital. It was removed, she was. And during the court case, she came and then changed her testimony that as she fell.
What?
That, it was, that it was a fight between her and her husband that made her say that. But actually, she just changed her testimony. She changed the statement right there. Do you understand?
Yes.
The man, of course, had to be released. They went back home because family had intervened. Don't send our in-law to the hospital. So angrily, I left, and then I just now have things about. I've been a Christian. I've been born again since I was 9 years old. Do you understand? I've grown in the church. I am in.
Since you were 9?
Since I was 9.
So as I'm looking at you now, you've never had a drink? You've never smoked?
No, I don't. I have not smoked. I take red wine.
Wait,
when you say
alcoholic,
of course, red wine is there anything like non-alcoholic wine? Wine by definition is fermented grape.
You don't correct before. Correct.
No.
Okay, so since you were 9, obviously you never had any. You couldn't have had a girlfriend before even after you got to university until you were about to get married.
How did you know?
I'm asking that.
I'm telling you now.
I got to school. I went to school with SU. In our own days, it was SU.
I wasn't SU. When you say SU,
but
there's another level. There's another level to.
Did you not hear him?
Yes, I understand him.
You understand him?
I
don't understand.
So,
Jimmy.
Jimmy. Now the closing of that case was that now, because of that, her leg started to now.
I can jolly well understand.
Deteriorate. Then the man now said, he can't marry somebody with one bad leg.
Yes.
And then, just in the same house brought another woman. So this woman now of the leg started running.
Okay, we got to take a short break. We got to take a very short break.